Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have another Talisman flight, and today it's one that I'm not really looking forward to. The JU-87 D-3. Now, the last time I flew a D-3 model was the Italian one, and that was when I spaded it. And well, that was alright. That was an alright aircraft. It's just, obviously my spade impressions could have been done better, that is for certain. I went back this morning and had a look, and bloody hell. My microphone was far too low. Could barely hear myself talk over the bloody engine of this thing. But obviously, we all make mistakes, and well, that video is not changing, that's staying as it is. And well, I thought, well, the Talisman series will involve this aircraft, so I'm going to have to do it again at some point. And I've decided the best bomb load for me to use today will be the 3500s. And I know Dark Angel's going to be screaming at the screen saying, why do you not have the 2250 and the 1000? Because I just see that as impractical. I like the thought of having three balanced bombs, if you get what I mean. So obviously, I've done some history on the D Stuka, well, on the Stukas, but the D models were basically just up armored. They were meant to protect the pilot a bit more. The D5 was obviously upgraded to 20mm cannon. The Ds were really meant as more ground support aircraft, such as they were meant to attack infantry and things like that. They were meant for more infantry support. They were not really meant for their terrorizing dive bombing role, which is why barely any of them had their Jericho trumpets fitted. The D5 obviously can carry the gun pods. I'm not certain if the D3 could, but the D3 obviously was used as the basis for the G1 Stuka, and the D5 with its longer wings were used as the choice for the G2 Stuka. Now, obviously, I have both G Stukas spaded. They were horrible. Let's just say that. But I got them done. I got a couple of air kills with back turret. That's all that matters to me. So we'll see how we do in the younger brother, so to speak. We are armed with two 7.92 MG17s with 2,000 rounds. Obviously, that's 1,000 rounds per gun. We have two 7.92 NG81s in the rear, which fire ridiculously fast, with again 1,000 rounds per gun. Hans has a bit of protection back there. The pilot has a bit of protection, but it's not significant. And obviously, we'll be fighting aircraft with cannons and high caliber weaponry in general, like 50 caliber, which will punch right through the armor for the most part. But we'll just have to see how we do. So, less of me blabbering about Stukas and all that. As much as I love my Stukas, I'm not a fan of the D3. Never have been. I think it needs to be dropped in BR. Because if we take a look, obviously B2 Stuka can carry the same payload as the HS-123. The R2 can carry a 1000, but it's at the same BR, which it used to be 2.0. Then you've got the D3, which personally I think could comfortably go to 2.3, maybe even 2.0. Yes, its back turret's a bit powerful, but that'll just teach people not to tail sit bombers, even dive bombers. The D5 I think is perfectly fine at its BR. However, maybe a BR decrease to 3.0 might benefit it, but then again, I don't think some poor sod in, let's say, what's it 2.0? Let's say a P36, well, no, let's take a look at some, that's 2.0. Why do the American seriously not have any 2.0s? Here we are. So, for example, this poor lag pilot would not want to meet a Stuka that could waste him in 1 second. So that's why I think the D5 anyway is perfectly fine for its BR. But yeah, let's jump right in. Let's get beginning and let's see how we do. I don't think we're going to get much in terms of battle and all that, but we'll just have to see. Obviously, I'm bringing the 3500s. I prefer this payload. It's like on my 110s, I prefer the two 500 kilogram bombs. I just always have. Obviously, Universal and the 7.92s, APT in the back turret, it works so well that does APT. I'm not even joking. And here we are, we got Sicily. Not a bad start. Sat for about 3 minutes. I was just checking my Twitter, to be truthfully honest. It actually reminds me, I do need to do something on Twitter for my college assignment. Obviously, no one. Well, I'm not putting my Twitter in the description below. That's my personal Twitter. I could maybe make a Twitter for the channel, but we'll see. Okay, we got a battle rating 3.7 games. We are fully updated. But it appears to be only 3.7 per side. Right, well, if you're expecting a fast flight, don't bother. That's better. Yeah, Stuka's on exactly the fastest, especially when you're going full payload. We're going to be heading for the left tank convoy, and obviously the rear turret will mostly do our work for us. Here's we've got a squadron of 3 retards of Russian origin. We've got 2 Japsairs, 2 Heinkel 111s. We've got a Spitfire. I swear, we've got more allied aircraft than we pretty much do German. Obviously, I know we don't, but... Well, let's see what we do. So obviously this skin, I think this is a ground attacking skin. I think you need like 100 ground targets destroyed in RB to get this skin. It's quite a nice skin, so I thought I'd leave it on for today. Because it goes all over the landing gear as well. I believe the D-3 Stukas were eventually upgunned to the D-fight standard, so... Now I know for a fact a lot of enemy fighters like to come this way, so... I think we're gonna want to increase the power. For a fixed landing gear aircraft though, the Stuka does dive like a boss. That's one of its main characteristics that I like. I do like dive bombers that can dive like a boss. Because you barely get any control stiffening with a Stuka. I mean, yeah, I'm getting it now, but all I have to do to prevent that is a bit of air brake. Oh, aim's a bit off, but never mind. First ground target kill. Now, I'd prefer to do this in a 111, but... whatever. Probably gonna have some retards rushing in to get a free kill on the Stuka, so... There we go, bombs out. All ground targets, not bad, not bad. 4 tanks destroyed in a single bomb drop. Not bad, but could have been better. Right, now we're going to retreat towards our fighters, because obviously we've got an aircraft coming in. I'm not sure what it is. Let's mark it out for the team. Let's get that artillery piece on the way. Well, in fact, there's 2 here, so I might as well line them up. Like I say, I knew when I was going to start this Talisman series I was going to get some stinkers, but I'm hoping this aircraft isn't a stinker. And my turret can't shoot through the tail anymore. I remember the days when you used to be able to shoot through the tail like it was going out of style. I'll let the team know of it. That would be by 7 o'clock. I like to try and communicate with the team a bit. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a hurricane, judging by the speed. This is the thing, though, I'm flying towards my team. Obviously, most of the team are at high altitude, which is annoying. Got an F4U up there. Like I said, I have no idea what that is. It looks like a hurricane, judging by the shape of it, but... He's wasting his time chasing after me. Alright, that IL-4 is going down. Clean up on IL-4. There's your one dad joke of the day. It's not very often I do a dad joke anymore. And is the Spitfire's going to steal it? Oh god. And he's just fucking rammed it, really? Wow. And we've got a bloody 836 Apache coming our way. Right, whatever that is, it is clearly not what I thought it was. Right. We could go back and get some more bombs, but I do want to try and see what's on my tail at the moment. Come on, chap says. Kill him. Do it! Do it now! There's your one Arnold Schwarzenegger impression for the day. And it appears one of the IL-2s has crashed. There's another one. I think it's another IL-2, judging by the wing shape, now that I can see it. Oh, for fuck's sake, a Havoc! How the hell did he get through? Oh, I hate Havocs. Havocs are living nightmares. Alright, Hans, open up. Alright, Hans basically told him to piss off, which probably won't work. Alright, Gigo thingy-majig. Level 48. He's going to try and fight. That's an IL-2M. I don't really have the guns to deal with this guy, but I will certainly bloody try. Oh, that's a lot of pew-pews. This is not advised. If that was me in that IL-2, I'd already be dead. IL-2s can turn pretty well, but Stukas can turn better. For the most part, anyway. Oh, for God's sake! What is this? What is this game, honestly? Like... I mean, he did the job, so... That's all that matters, you kept your Stuka alive. What is this game? Like, seriously? That is... Jumonkey Squad? Oh no, it's Jenga's. I always have high respect for Jenga. Jenga's always been one of those YouTubers that I've always respected. He's always had nice things, well, we always have a bit of banter and things like that every time I leave a comment. Recently though, he's not been uploading as much, but obviously he's done a video as to why on that. About his son or something. If so, mate, respect. Either way. Hope the little guy's doing alright, is all I'll say. Well, that's anti-aircraft fire. I want to deal with that gun first though. There, we've got a camp. That's nothing new, pal. Like I say, I'm not expecting much out of this plane, but so far this flight's just been solid in terms of funniness. I mean, I'm just ground pounding with the MGs at this point, because there's really nothing else I can do. I could go back and get bombs, but the only thing I could really do at this point is kill some bases, and even then, Stuka's not really built for that. Alright, yeah, there's an AA gun in there, but I want to, yeah, we'll deal with a bigger AA gun first. That's the priority target, at least. Oh my god, that Jap said's got like 3 kills in half a second. I think he might have strafed out most of them though, so I don't really think they should count as air kills. Yeah, I think he just went and strafed them. Yeah, he did. Last guy's an A36. Well, let me tell you, this is one of the most random games I've had in a long time. But you can see why I prefer something like the D-3 Stuka, because you can actually fight a bit better in that. If I was in a D5 with bombs on and I'd have been... Well, I wouldn't have had bombs on in the first place, but you get the gist. That's him dead, and the A-36 has just died. That is the end of the game. 16 ground targets. I will take that. That was a decent run. That I'm well impressed with. Obviously, we had a lot of laughs along the way, so we've more than gotten what we needed for the aircraft. Obviously, I'm not looking for hero stuff. I'm just wanting a casual flight in these aircraft. But yeah, good run. 4 tanks, a lot of miscellaneous artillery and AAA guns. First and final blow, we got Mission Maker. We got to defend ourselves against Nile 2. Really wish that fight would have ended a bit more in my favour, as in me getting on the IL-2's tail, shredding his tail gunner, and then getting to gut him slowly. Sadly though, that Jenga pilot rammed him, which was unfortunate, but whatever. Respect to him anyway. And respect to Jenga, obviously. Obviously he's been uploading less, which I can understand. And well, yeah. I mean, we got a sufficient flight at this thing. I was not expecting much, but we had an IL-4 get rammed, which didn't need to be rammed. We had that A-20 come screaming at us. Then we had that slight dogfight with the IL-2. I mean, I will take that as a flight. That was a perfectly good flight. So I hope you enjoyed today's Talisman flight on the D-3 Stuka. I mean, it's a pretty Joe average aircraft. It gets the job done, but I think a BR decrease to 2.3 might help it just that little bit more. Yeah, that tail turret is pretty tough, but if you ignore the tail turret, it's not really much improved over the R2 and the B2. So I think a BR decrease to 2.3 would work for this aircraft. Because not only that, it's fighting aircraft that can still kill it, such as F3Fs. It can defend itself a little better, and not only that, it's more of a worthy grind that well, this aircraft will be. Because let's be real, are you going to want to jump from an R2 Stuka to a Stuka that's at one whole BR higher and only carries 500 kilogram bomb more payload? Has an extra 1,000 rounds of machine gun, which really helped this battle, but I don't think a 2.3 decrease is needed. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's Talisman flight. Obviously, the next one will be something that Dark Angel is going to love. It's no ordinary 110, it's the OG C7. Now, I say OG C7. She isn't technically the truer model. If you guys remember the C4, that is the true OG. Sadly though, she was killed off when this thing was put into the game. Don't worry though, we're not going to be taking any bombs on this thing. We're going to be using it as a pure fighter. That is the intention. However, I might take bombs, some light bombs, just to help us out that little bit. I'll see when we get around to it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's flight in the D-3 Stuka. We had a lot of laughs, and obviously we did quite a bit of ground pounding, which to be honest is the D-3 Stuka's only good trait. Anyway, I'll catch you all on the next one.